Welcome back to Yeti. It's episode 94. We are on the final stage of the UAE tour. We had a fairly successful climb before, but it was Derek G who had the best race day condition on the day and finished just inside the top 25. So overall, GC is really kind of wasted, but we've finally got ourselves a really nice draw, a positive draw by a fair margin. Now, I do have three guys that have started fitness peaks from that last climbing stage till now, and so we have a +9 expected, but we got a +20, so a +11 over the net is fantastic. It's 22k to go now on the stage. The breakaway has been caught, and so not only do we have that positive draw, but for the most part it's the best climbers that have the positives. Haddad with a +3, Vatsek with a +5, G with a +4, and Abdullah with a +5. So we're going to be trying our hand at this classified medium mountain final stage as we have 14k left and we're 2k from an intermediate sprint. I'm tempted to go try to grab a few seconds, but it's really not going to matter in the grand scheme of things. It's going to be the finish to the climb as one rider is clearly going for it. Okay, we're definitely starting to go uphill, but the climb proper will begin here shortly. Right now, it's just gently. There we go. Now we're going up. We are going up. This is it. 75 is not going to cut it. We've got to push harder than that. Let's say 82 for now. How well does that hold our position? It's testing, but it's not going back rapidly, so we're looking pretty good. 9k left. Okay, a little more acceleration, so a little more effort. Just trying to preserve Vasilevsky. With my other domestiques, Lind and Jouet. Gel up for each of them. We're at 7.5k if we're going to do this in the style of a... Ooh, there's a little lift in tempo. This is the time. 7k out? Sure. We're going to go for it today. We're going to go for it. We'll see what these guys can do. So this guy is already too far down. So beginning with Shui, we'll keep an eye on Lind here. And Lind, how you doing on keeping up? Oh, he was fine for a moment, but Shui's gonna lose some tempo. 6.4. Let's get Lind out of the mix. Shui, give me a 99 since you're at the front. That's X. Definitely not the guy. Wait for Abdullah to get up here in position, and we'll gel up with Abdullah. 5k. So I've got 4 guys here in position. 4. I think here at 4k, I'm going to have to begin our move with Abdullah. Gel up with G, and there we go. Abdullah starting to come through. That's a good ride by Shui there. He didn't lose much ground, but here comes the attack of Ciccone. But this isn't, well, it is about this and that and the other thing, right? But Abdullah covering the ground really well. I want Haddad to go second. He's not a puncher. G has a little bit more punch to him. Oh, that's that. Abdullah's done. 1.3, so on to G. Come on, G, can you go forward? G, can you go forward? There's no space. There's no space. I can't get Vatsek going anywhere. 500 meters. Sprint it out. Ciccone held on, by the way. But G couldn't find space to move up. Unusual for a mountain stage, but it is going to be a good result for the team when this is not our strong suit. Del Toro takes second. Almeida gets third. Uman, the guys who you would expect there this time around, are up there. But Haddad gets 11th, Vatsek 13th, G 17th. Good result for the team. Definitely better than the last climbing stage. Could have been even higher up the order. I don't think we're going to catch up to Ciccone there at the end, and we're probably not even going to crack the top 5, but we definitely would have been 2 riders in the top 10. But when G went to go past, there was just nowhere to go. So final standings for the UAE Tour. G gets up to 17th, and we didn't face anything else. So, not a great result as a team or anything, but we tested our climbing legs and they did okay. But here was the thing, we had a lot of positive race day conditions in there. I think our placing, yes, could have been higher, but we weren't competing for the win, and I don't think we're going to be competing for mountaintop finishes at all this season. Big bonuses, and we still weren't competing for the win. We were just properly competing and not getting beat handily. And with the new sprint mechanics, it looks like punchy is going to be kind of the way to go this season. It's Strade Bianche. It's one of my favorite races, just period, hands down. Absolutely love it. Should be a monument. Monuments shouldn't necessarily be based on history, and that's coming from somebody who's was a history teacher for 10 years. Like, simple history only means so much if you make something of it. Iconic races are iconic for a reason, not just because they've been around longer. We've got another nice race day condition here. Another plus 10 again net compared to what was expected. But unlike the final stage of the UAE Tour, this one, the distribution isn't necessarily where you want it to be. Vatsek's our best rider. He's the only one with a negative race day condition. Harasim is not amongst our three best, but he's got a good race day condition bonus that helps him out. And a lot of the best race day conditions, they're still domestiques. We got a plus 3, plus 4, and plus 5 on the domestiques. So this is our first look at Christopher Young. Young is the first young signing that we have, pun intended. He's the first scouting signing that we've picked up for a straight 18-year-old with high potential and good sprinter. Big bonuses to his race day condition. He's excited for his first race. It's not really his first race, it's just the first we've seen him in. But we're on the day's biggest climb right now, 5.5K. It's not bad. There's only one rider 6 minutes ahead, so the pace is really low. And this is good for me because it's going to give us more of a chance to have additional riders still available late. And the more riders that I have available late, the more chance that I have to still feature in this thing and make something happen. But we're going to head into a prolonged gravel sector, but it's only 1 star. So yes, the field splits more easily. Yes, it still adds a little bit of a challenge, but it's a pretty smooth, easy to ride. The bigger factor is how skinny the road is. So you don't want to be drifting too much. But for this sector and the next, I'm not too worried just yet. We'll start to speed things up for the later portion of the race. But we go inside 100K. Gap to the solo leader is coming down just a little bit. Arnsman crashes and withdraws from the race. Okay, here's where I need to start speeding things up a little bit because of the gravel plus the climb. And we're through that one just fine. Everybody's still near the front. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. 85K to go. Flat sector. Kind of the last and longest flat sector of the entire race. Now 74K to go. I will need to send somebody to get water soon, but as everybody's fresh and we're still just gradually pulling back that breakaway rider, right now there's just not that much stress in how things are riding. I'm actually half tempted to attack, but I know the moment I do, then the field will feel differently. Somebody else attacks, you probably won't care too much, but the you versus AI thing, it's just not worth it. Now less than 4 minutes and coming up on that 63K to go, so go get water. Final time. And now the tempo lifts. I'll wait until after the descent here. Use that to get that heart rate down, make sure we're fully recovered before. But now we up the effort, and we're probably going to slow it down through this sector. At least, as we've got a fair amount of undulation, twisty turns, plenty of gravel.
Several riders are on the ground.
Big fall. Does not split the field, though. They just end up off the back. Okay, big acceleration. Up the effort. 87's fine. It's holding. We still have undulation, but it's relatively flat through here. And we've got a long gap between the end of this sector and the next. So we will recover that position. That's whether those three riders get pulled back.
Goes onto the attack.
Plus the one that's solo off the front. He's got a pretty healthy advantage. Split there as one rider sat up and came backwards. And suddenly we've got to chase down these 21, but it is being chased down. You got a full team doing that work, and there you go. That's that. Now we can get ourselves back in position finally. We're getting little hints of blinking red, even with the 87 effort. So very, very high tempo being set right now. And you can see how we just, in a few kilometers, pulled back 40 seconds on that lead rider. But the 4 total riders away haven't pulled them back. And 3 of them are working together. 3 of them include Healy, Rogowski, and then more. Healy in particular is definitely a threat. 86 left in the peloton. Those 4 are together in just 19 seconds ahead. That front rider still has a 2-minute advantage. Okay, now we start putting in big effort to hold position. Short gravel sector, but a lot of undulation through here. And we're blinking red on a 90, up to a 91. Gregoire on the attack. Okay, here's a big one, 93 effort. Very steep. Eases off, but continues to climb. Okay, now increased effort.
The riders are entering the last 15 kilometers of the
oh, and our whole team just got split off. With a 95 effort, we got split off. That's a... no. I roll from a 97 up to a 98, but no, I roll from a 97 to a 71 as I roll up. Evil, evil game. 13K to go. This group, trying to get them under control. Vatsek just hold position. Sala is done. Young is done, but Puck is not. So we'll get him leading the charge to chase this thing. Alright, so we have a group of 44 chasing a group of 23, chasing a group of 19, and Vatsek's in the group of 23. So nobody's going to do anything in this race unless we can bring these 3 groups back together. So Puck first coming forward. Done with the gravel. Should be able to move on, but he doesn't have the red bar.
The finish line is getting close. The riders just passed the 10 kilometers road sign.
Okay, Lind. Get his gel ready. Puck is done with his pursuit onto Lind. Suddenly he's just 15 chasing. That's it. Yeah, he's still right there. There's 12 riders ahead of him. Come on, Lind. Bring us forward. That's it. Can't do anything alone. If he were in the main group, I'd ignore these guys and just focus on him, but he's not in the main group. We've got to have numbers. We've made contact with that group. Lind's got to come forward. We'll pick up Vatsek. Is Vatsek the go-to? Yes, he will be.
5 kilometers left. The riders are in a portion
It's
of
11
100%.
riders ahead. It's 32 chasing. 24 chasing. Vatsek, join the queue. Get Harasim ready. 3.5K to go. It's a 1-minute gap. We're not going to catch those 11. We're fighting now for 12th place. Here we go. 2-star. 2 stars. Lind. It's 1.2K. We're going to catch some of those guys. Harasim sprinting over the top. Pickrell now sprinting, and no red bar left. But we're definitely going to finish higher than the 12th place. 3 guys broke away from the 11. It's Pithy, Van Gils, Jorgensen. Pogacar only gets 4th, and it will be a top 10 for Harasim. I think we're headed for 10th place exactly. No, Tiberi! Tiberi! His bike is twice the length of ours. Not really. He just beat us on the throw. It's 11th, 13th, 19th place finish. So close to making the comeback. I knew we were heading into the danger area. I had us rolling in already in the 90s and tried to have us rolling higher and harder in the tempo. And that was the thing. They kept the tempo down for so long, and there's so much talent here. I mean, for a non-monument, Gregoire only finished 15th. Van Eedveld, you've got your Tiberi, Pidcock, Lescano, like really the entire 10, or at least 8 of them are big-time riders. So good result. I would have liked getting that one more position, getting that half an inch between us and Tiberi to get the 10th place, but still a good result. Pretty good result. We're still not cobble rated, but it's an area we've improved in. We're going to start being a lot more competitive in this type of race. We knew sponsor was going to be easy to max out. We're already at an 86. We have 2 more races later in the year that will announce eventually. That'll boost us up further, and then with results, and if we can get, like, say, 15 wins along the way, we've already got 1 on the season. If we can pick those up, which I find it shocking they still have us at the 0. But so far, we've already picked up 4 potential sponsors later on. We don't have the visibility yet, right? We don't have the ranking yet. At some point, that's going to come together. But we've got Euskaltel, Euskadi, Rabobank, Soudal Quickstep is not active in the peloton anymore. They want to get back in. And Bapco coming in twice along with Phonak. Soudal Quickstep is still in the peloton, so apparently they are discontinuing their sponsorship this year and immediately just looking to pick up a different team. We are ranked above them, but they are significantly stronger than we are. We've just done more with what we have. They're a pretty high-ranked team. We're going to take a quick look at all the World Tour teams and just this page here. Before I wrap this episode up, I don't have enough time for another race at this stage, but Astana does not have a strong web. They're barely 4 stars, but they have improved just a little bit each year. They have yo-yoed back and forth with a couple of years down in Continental Pro. Bora Hansgrohe, just barely 4 stars, and they've been pretty consistent in that just above that 4-star range. 7 victories last year, and their average age suddenly 30. Bahrain victorious, right at 4 stars. They've been in World Tour every year, and I think they're right on the edge of getting knocked down. Citron, not even this year almost 4 stars. They were Continental Pro last year, and this is their first year as a World Tour since being Arkea. So Citron, new sponsorship, used to be Arkea. Decathlon AG2R, just a little bit above the 4-star mark. Still World Tour, have been all this time. Was Groupama FDJ. Weird to see the 2 competing French teams suddenly be the same French team, just alternating sponsors. EF Education, World Tour throughout the playthrough. Right, last season was their best with a sliver beyond 4 stars. Ineos, always strong, always 4.5 plus. Had 38 victories a year ago. Intermarché, not very many wins at any point, any season, and they are a shade, just that sliver below the 4 stars. They've yo-yoed. Right now they are on that upper edge, just a hair ahead of us. Lidl Trek, 4.5, and comfortable. Lotto Destiny, just 12 wins a year ago. Not more than 20 since 2025 as a season. But last year was their strongest with 4 and a sliver. Movistar, 4 stars, less than 10 wins a year ago. World Tour throughout. Soudal Quickstep, a strong 4.5. 39 victories a year ago. Team Avast was Monster Energy, was ATT, and it's their very first year in World Tour. And they are right at the 4-star mark. How in the world did that happen? How'd they get there? I think they were number 18. And they were Continental just 2 years ago. Jaco Alula, just barely 4 stars, like just solidly 4 stars. It looks like last year might have had just a hair of a sliver. Their best season was 2024 with 22 wins. Visma, close to 5 stars each and every year. This last year was actually the weakest they've been in some years, and it did show up with a little bit fewer wins as well. DSM, slowly climbing from a little below 4 stars to now 4 1/4, or almost a quarter, but still only 10 wins last season. UAE, 4.5, strong team, lots of victories. Vital Delco, just right at 4. Quite a few teams that can be beaten, and this was Decathlon AG2R, as we've now seen that shift to what we're seeing in play right now, potentially anyway, with Sidal Quickstep. Has already happened with Groupama FDJ and Decathlon AG2R, as they just shifted right onto a new team immediately. Now, of course, just checking ourselves and where we stand, you can see how we've come along the way here. So we were at nothing, not a single star, and we still managed 7 victories, and then 1.5 stars, 2 1/4, 3 and a sliver, 3.5, and now we are the tiniest sliver shy of 4 stars. We were 20th. We were 2 spots away. So close. Only 20 victories a year ago. That was kind of that interesting thing, but that was that World Tour calendar. We're now going up against those best teams. It knocks us down. We got essentially half as many wins as what we had gotten before, because the competition got a lot tougher. Average age, we are the youngest, or one of the youngest teams out there. The big thing, though, is right now we are still not yet at that 4 stars. We're a little bit lower this year than we were last year, because we lost Hagland. Trying to bounce back to get to that mark and get us over it. You can see just how weak our web is compared to everybody else. We're pretty balanced. The funny thing is, looking at it, Hills is like our weakest. Hills is our weakest, but it's where we get the most wins. Maybe I should try to recruit guys with a hill rating a little bit more than I am actively doing, as it seems to be the way that we snowball the most. All right, that's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.